KY jelly.
Press the button, Frank. And
I've already pressed mine, mate. Okay.
Okay, this is an impromptu Omega Files add-on. We were sitting here, and a lot of questions came up about the 50th anniversary, the classic Doctors and whatnot, and we decided to share it with the viewing audience. So,
Oh, excuse me. Is this an emergency broadcast?
It's an emergency podcast, I tell you. Emergency. Yes, yes. Don't make me do it.
And by the way, post office boy, apologies. I would love to have it on air as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
knew you shouldn't have had them beans, Brian. Sorry.
Okay, so there's been a lot of discussion, especially by me, about what's going on with the 50th anniversary, because given the fact that, I found out earlier this week that it was clocking in at just over 90 minutes. There was a secret screening with a bunch of the BBC execs and Moffat, and they said that they felt that the story was too long. So at that point, 9 minutes got cut. As to what happened to the other few minutes later, have not heard a word on that yet. But what's worrying me is the fact they've got this thing down to 75 minutes. This is supposed to be the 50th anniversary special. People are like, what's the big deal? It's still 75 minutes. And I'm like, David Tennant, part 2 of the end of time was 75 minutes. It's like, this is a joke. So,
an insult.
It is. It's a slap in the face. But especially if it turns out, and like I said, this is an if, the media is telling the truth for a change, and there's no classic Doctors involved in the 50th anniversary. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, but I mean, I believe they are involved, the classic Doctors, but only as cameos so far.
That's what
Do you understand? I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention this. If this leaked script that appeared on the internet is real about the 50th, it does look like that they are to appear. But unfortunately, it looks like they're only appearing as cameo roles, and it's a slap in the face for the greatest, in fact, one of the greatest living Doctors, living Moffat, Tom Baker. It's a slap in the face. I'm sorry. If you're treating the man with the great acting experiences, acting with Olivier, people like that, and you're basically pooing on his face by, you're having a cameo role, if that, okay? Because nobody in the new generation can relate to you. I'm sorry, you're bitching the guy off. Sorry, you are. I'm sorry, you are.
Well, any thoughts, Vil?
Rage.
I know, it just puzzles the living crap out of me that earlier this year we had this picture come out and everybody was cheering up and down because they had Matt Smith and David Tennant in the same room, and I'm sitting there thinking, sorry, there's too many empty seats in that room for me to start cheering.
Moffat should just be grateful that the Power Rings only exist in DC comics because this would give me a red one and I'd be coming for him.
And also, to be honest with you, right? This is supposed to be a semicast in the cinema, yeah? Right. Now, if this is true, it's been 75 minutes, not only we are being asked to pay double, we are being ripped off of a feature-length movie in the cinemas. 75 minutes. I mean, this is not the 1930s anymore. I'm sorry. It should be 90 minutes and more. For God's sake.
Unless, and I still don't think that there should be cuts. But that's unless in the cinema they'll see the uncut version.
Yeah, which I think maybe that's going to happen. And don't forget, there's going to be the DVD is going to be released when, Freedom?
December 2nd.
So, you know, a few weeks after. It's only a few weeks. So you've got deleted scenes, special features, director's cut, you know. But anyway, I wanted to get to you to explain yourself, Freedom, really. I meant this at you. Is on your previous Freedom News update, you said if it doesn't happen, please complain on your complaint box about having no classic Doctors featured, or, you know, barely featured in the 50th anniversary, which does sound it, you know. Why would you say that now when it's already been shot? I mean, I can't understand you, Freedom. Why would you say that when it's already been shot? In what way would you say, give Tom Baker his props when it's too late? This should have been done while it was in script form, or at least, you know, before the camera started rolling.
To quote John Pertwee as the third Doctor, there's an old Earth saying, it's never too late. And the thing is, even if the 50th anniversary filming is all said and done, they're still going to start filming Series 8 at the beginning of next year. Even if they can't get them in for the 50th, these guys should be on screen. Now, sure, it's too late to do it now if that's the case. But there's no reason why they shouldn't have Tom Baker appear in an episode, even if just for a couple minutes. Same thing with the other classic Doctors, because this is going to be the last chances we have to get these men on screen. We're looking at Tom Baker, who's 79 years old. Sylvester McCoy just turned 70. Colin Baker's not that far from 70. Peter Davison, he's 63. And these guys are not going to be around forever. And it should have automatically been a given that they were going to be in this anniversary. It should have automatically been a given that there was going to be multiple specials, let alone one 75-minute special. If anything, the complaint should be done. They should be filled out, because Moffat should be asked to resign because he has failed, and he has failed miserably.
Agreed.
He had 4 years to plan the 50th anniversary of this show if he knew he was going to be around that long. There is no excuse on planet Earth why there's only one 50th anniversary special and it's 75 minutes.
Okay, agreed, Freedom. Agreed. But let me ask you this, right? Tom Baker is, bless his old heart, is 79, nearly 80, yeah? In what capacity would you ask the fans to protest in what way? Give me an example. Would you feature it? Give me an example.
An example of protest, your first available option is immediately go fill out a complaint to the BBC. Now, a lot of people are saying that doesn't do any good. Balderdash.
No, you don't understand what I mean. I mean, if you want him to appear in a role, like what? I mean, the 50's already been shot. I mean, elaborate on what you mean.
If he doesn't appear in the 50th, they owe him an appearance, even if it's in next season. And I don't care how they write it in.
Okay. I'll give you an example, right? I hate this, right? Dear old Nicholas Courtney appeared in the Sarah Jane's Adventures, yeah? You know, which is an offshoot in Doctor Who, right? Which that man should be given the respect, even more so than Elizabeth Sladen, because he has appeared with nearly all the Doctors, you know, the classic Doctors. And Russell T Davies was saying, oh yes, he will appear in a Doctor Who episode, don't worry, he will appear in a Doctor Who episode. But as soon as he did, he wasn't able to, because poor old Nicholas Courtney fell ill with cancer. So, you know, what I'm saying to you is they should have done this in the 50th anniversary, you know. Because what about if, God forbid, Tom Baker falls ill, you know what I mean?
Exactly. We are literally, and I hate to use this phrase, we're in a race with the graveyard. Literally.
Yeah.
If we don't get these guys on camera now, it's never going to happen again. And there's going to be a whole lot of people who are going to regret it further down the line. Now, a lot of people say I don't rag on RTD. I hold RTD personally responsible for the fact that Nicholas Courtney did not get his chance to appear on Doctor Who, the show itself. Now, while he did appear on Sarah Jane Adventures, yeah, sure, that was all grand and fine. But he should have been on the main show with the current Doctor at that time, which I believe was David Tennant. And there's no reason why he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of fact, just to give you an example of how this happens. Sophie Aldred was supposed to appear on the Sarah Jane Adventures as Ace. Unfortunately, Elizabeth Sladen passed away, and that was the end of the series. Hence, all that got thrown to the wayside. And that's what's going to happen if these guys keep screwing around.
Exactly. I mean, what do you think of it, Vil?
It's absolutely irritating. It seems like they're just intentionally stupid at this point. There's absolutely no reason that they can't have brought in both the classic Doctors and the companions that are still willing to do it. They could have easily written an episode that would fit them, or taken one of the episodes they even had planned as they are now and brought them into those. It would not take massive rewrites, so there's really no excuse at all.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think I understand what Freedom's talking about, is if he only appeared Tom Baker, I mean, I only specify Tom Baker because of largely of his age, and also because the guy nearly ruined his career by giving 7 years to Doctor Who. I mean, he redefined Doctor Who, you know. Mm-hmm. You could say William Hartnell did, you know, because he was the first. I mean, Patrick Troughton certainly did, because without him, I mean, he could have made a dog's breakfast out of it, you know, and ruined it. But to come in when you've already had 3 Doctors before you, and him also reinventing the character. I mean, there's people that can only see Tom Baker as the Doctor. He is the Doctor. If there was an actor to play a role, it would be Tom Baker as the Doctor. I'm sorry, guys. I know the new generation say, oh, what about David Tennant? What about, you know, your Matt Smiths and that? I'm sorry. I think what would be nice is to have the classic fans to protest, to say, okay, you know, do an episode with the new Doctor, Peter, you know, and star him in like a 2 Doctors, like they did with Colin Baker and
Here's the problem that I see with that. Ultimately, all of the old Whovians going way back, and this includes new fans who appreciate the classics, all that them protesting does is give them advertising. I think that it takes more. I know things work. Things have worked before. I'm just not sure how I'd pull it together, because it seems like anything that comes to my mind would just be something that they could use to get attention to the show anyway.
But what I'm saying to you is like for instance, you could do it with Peter Picardi, right? You know, like it could have nothing to do with the 50th anniversary. It could be nice, like the way introducing Patrick Troughton in the 2 Doctors, that had nothing to do with the 20th anniversary or 25 years anniversary. Mm-hmm. It'd be nice to do. I think they should do that to at least Tom Baker.
I think that they should do that with each of the classic Doctors, or maybe even do an episode with all of them. What I'm saying is that I don't think that protesting will really work with them at this point. I think that it's going to take a lot of the fans just getting so disgusted that they almost all walk away before we'll see them actually get rid of Moffat. Otherwise, we're going to have him around for quite a while doing more stupid crap.
I know, you see, and I even had a fan who suggested to me, why don't they just do what they did back in the Three Doctors, where you have the older doctors who, are not as mobile, put them in an advisory capacity. And meanwhile, you've got McGann, who's only 53 years old, looks almost exactly the same as he did back in 1996. He could be out with the other doctors doing the running and the action. And boom, you've got a show. It's not that hard to write. That's what I can't figure out. Everybody's like, well, you got to divide it. Yeah, but if they had done the proper thing, which is what RTD did back in 2009 with the departure of David Tennant, you got a series of episodes that led up to that point. Sure, it was only half a season, but still, that was half a season. And
Sorry, Karen.
Should have done the same thing this year.
Okay, but Freedom, I sort of agree with Vil there, what he just said. I don't think the protesting will do any good.
And that's exactly what they want to hear. They want you to believe you're powerless. They want you to believe you're helpless. They want you to believe there's not a damn thing you can do about it. I know otherwise. And I'll tell you why. The proof is right now sitting in a museum right here in the United States. It's the reason why we have a space shuttle named Enterprise. It's the reason why you have a Star Trek franchise to this day, including the piece of crap Abrams movies. It's because the fans got up and said, we won't take it, when they canceled the show. It's because the fans, when they asked, what should we name our first space shuttle? Star Trek fans got together, mobilized, and that shuttle's now named the Enterprise. You can't just sit back and let it happen. And the same thing happened in '78 when they canceled Battlestar Galactica. Sure, you got Galactica 1980, which was lower than whale dung, but still, it got put back on the air for a season, didn't it?
And I suppose you could say the same thing happened with, Superman Returns when that flopped. They didn't want to remake it, but they protested. Snyder made this pile of rubbish. Man of Steel, I suppose, but I don't know.
And look at all the things Doctor Who fans have done over the years, keeping the show alive even after it was canceled. They can't just turn their back on those classic Doctors and say, that's it, we can't do anything, the BBC wins. Because otherwise, you wouldn't have this new series going on right now. You wouldn't have even had the 96 movie. You wouldn't have Big Finish audios. There is a classic fan base out there who, with the new Whovians who've gone back and checked out the old series, should be sitting down and going, wait a minute, we can't let this pass.
Yeah, I know, I do agree with you. And I was there in the 90s with the Big Finish audios and stuff when the Americans didn't want to pick up the show with Paul McGann and stuff and all that. But honest to God, I think Moffat is a genius at masking over the things that he doesn't want to do, because he feels that the new generation just aren't interested in the classic actors playing Doctor Who. He's very good at masking the problem. Hence why he's cast an older and experienced actor to play the new Doctor. And Peter Capaldi.
I'm just hoping he isn't using that as a Band-Aid, as a quick fix to give the classic Whovians what they want, give the new Whovians a new Doctor, and sweep the 50th anniversary under the rug.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's what he's exactly doing. But I just want the new generation just to do the complaints, because as someone alluded to before, I'm not satisfied with, Doctor Who at the proms and stuff, and Murray Gold's more famous than the people that operated the radiophonic workshop, for God's sake. You know what I mean? I mean, we get more Doctor Who at the proms, Doctor Who albums, Doctor Who merchandise this year than a full season.
It's sad that they don't use the musicians they had before, because honestly, they'd still do it. At least the ones that are kicking. And I don't know the individuals, but I know that when you listen to the music, it was amazing. Even now.
But that's precisely the point. Is the reason you didn't know the musicians in the Radiophonics workshop is because we wasn't clouded with the BBC at the proms, or a Dalek made out of hay, or this new Doctor Who figurine, this new stamps collection. Well,
it's all flashy now.
It's all rubbish just to say them.
That's what I mean by being flashy. It's a bunch of distractions.
Yes, eventual distractions. Where's my full season, or our full season, that we, the British public, pay for? I'm sorry, I'm not satisfied, Moffat. Not.
Yeah, I'm still hearing people going that this is the one that makes me laugh. Well, they didn't plan on having a series this year, therefore there was no budget allocated for it. I'm like, so you're telling me the BBC went broke this year? Bull crap. They still had money. They should have had it set aside. There's no explanation on God's green earth why they didn't have enough money to do multiple specials for this year. Other than the fact that a whole lot of people got lazy.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? All right, you tell me, there's not enough budget, Okay, you tell me. The budget, They're supposed to have a simulcast, in the cinemas, with 75 minutes, right, 3D, That cost how many millions to make?
Plus the fact they decided to shoot it in 3D. On top of that, a 75-minute movie. What the heck is that? For the cost of that 175-minute movie in 3D, you could have probably got at least 2 or 3 episodes out of that, if not.
Exactly. And so we got nothing. We've got a 75-minute. And we've got what have we got? At least we got classic episodes going on watch.
And heck, look at the docudrama. The docudrama, which I am looking forward to seeing. Don't get me wrong. It's 90 minutes.
Exactly.
I'm like, what the heck? It's like we can do 90 minutes on a what's the best way to describe it? Yeah, docudrama. We could do 90 minutes on a historical docudrama, but we couldn't do 90 minutes for the 50th anniversary. We couldn't do more than 75 minutes for a 50-year show. It just shows me how little they even care anymore.
Exactly. What's going on? You know what I mean? What do you think of it, Vil?
Exactly what you said. What more could I add to it? They don't give a damn.
Yeah. But I suppose we should be satisfied with Murray Gold's music and the stamps. I was really hoping for at least a 90-minute movie. Classic Doctors doesn't ask much, at least, but to have at least 75. If they said, I'll be honest. If they said 90 minutes, all right. The classic Doctors would have a cameo role, and you'll have, as what they say, David Tennant in there, possibly, maybe Paul McGann appearing more than the others, because they're too old. He's the youngest out of the classic Doctors. Fair enough. I would have swallowed it. I go, oh, okay. But to have 75 minutes, and to have the cheek to, put that in the cinemas, I'm sorry, I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
That's another thing. Everyone's going on and on about the proms. They do the proms every year.
Exactly.
And also this year, hang on, I want to bring this up. The 50th anniversary year of Doctor Who. It was a 1 hour and 13-minute program for the proms. How many minutes did they devote to the classical series? Anybody want to take a guess? 1 8-minute medley.
Oh, you're a joke. Oh.
One 8-minute compilation of 6 different soundtracks.
I can't believe that I was actually dumb enough to be thinking, about 45 minutes?
Nope.
No, be fair, you had Carol Ann Ford there.
All the rest of it was all new music. The Rings of A-Hole 10 thing, all that stuff was all new series, except for 8 minutes in the 50th anniversary year.
Oh, yes.
So once again, gold being held over Delia Derbyshire, Mark Ayres, and all those other guys who've been who were doing this for the last God knows how many years before Murray Gold was born.
Even born, yeah. And Delia Derbyshire done it 10 times better than Murray Gold did. And they all sound the same. All variations of Murray Gold's Doctor Who theme music, all the same. It has no different music to it. All the same.
But hey, he's a great musician. Everyone else said so.
Yeah. Well.
But I'm just still amazed. That it's the 50th anniversary year, and it's like it wasn't even the BBC who came up with the Doctor's Revisited specials. It was BBC America who did those, and they're just now coming over here to the UK.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Freedom?
BBC America is the ones who aired them monthly over here. As far as I know, BBC America.
No, but was it their idea? I think it was. Wasn't it Moffat and Gatiss' idea for that?
But still, it aired here first, just like they did the trailer, which, by the way, no UK citizen has seen as yet.
Well, to be fair, not a lot of the Americans have, unless you paid for the San Diego Comic Con. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, unless I magically splatted out a couple $1,000s from my rear and went out to the San Diego, I haven't seen it either. And very few people have seen it either. Yet this was supposed to be a bold business move.
Okay. Example. All right, I'll give you an example.
Give me your boss's coffee could be considered a bold business move in that case. Right,
Phil, and Freedom. Right, I'm going to ask you, as Americans, right? Now, your equivalent to Doctor Who is Star Trek. Now, next couple of years, you've got their 50 years coming up. Yeah.
3 more years.
Yeah. You've got their 50 years coming up. Now, do you think that you're going to be ripped off like we have?
Thank you for bringing out my inner Dalek.
I know. It's like, I don't see them, Paramount Pictures, going out to London Comic-Con in 2016 and showing an exclusive trailer for a Star Trek project and then not showing it here.
I just hope in, the next 3 years that there's enough outrage that maybe we'll get to see J.J. Abrams being chased by a bunch of crazed Whovians shouting, "Exterminate!"
No, but honestly, Vil, on a serious note, I honestly do not think we will be treated like that as Doctor Who fans. If I love Star Trek. I love the classic series of Star Trek, right? But honestly, if I was a die-hard Star Trek fan, I don't think I will be treated like this as I am as a Doctor Who fan. I don't think. You don't think? No, I don't think so.
This way, I think that you'd be treated a lot better, and I think that I'm going to be disgusted when I see the contrast. It's one thing to know about it now, but to actually see it, plan to be really pissed off because you will.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had a lot of people telling me
not that they don't deserve whatever grand
Oh no, they deserve it.
anniversary they get. They do. But what
They
will be
just-
maddening is that Doctor Who didn't do at least that much.
Yeah, exactly. They deserve it because Star Trek is as important as Doctor Who is. You know, in sci-fi history, no doubt about it. But I honestly don't think that they will rip us off as the way Stephen Moffat has. I mean, do you know who the showrunner is when the TV series comes?
and there's been no word on that yet. They're waiting till after the third movie before they do anything with the TV series.
Oh, okay.
Watch
Okay.
Aaron Spelling.
Oh no. I thought Aaron Spelling passed away.
Oh, like I said, it'll be Aaron Spelling.
I thought he passed away as well.
Yeah.
But you know, honest to God, I think Moffat could be shown up when he sees the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. I mean, is there any ideas of the?
I think that when he sees it, if he has any sense of honor, we'll be reading a news report about him having committed seppuku.
Oh no.
Vil, I got to ask, what the
Okay.
hell is Sukaku?
Seppuku? It's
Yeah.
the Japanese suicide ritual when you do something so dishonorable that you don't deserve to live. When you can't handle the shame of your own existence, you exit the world in a way that gives you back your honor. Basically, by disemboweling yourself with a samurai sword, and if you cannot complete the task, and very few can, then someone standing over gives you a beheading so that you can die quickly and with honor rather than slowly and with honor.
Oh God.
Like Harakiri, in other words.
Harakiri.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's seppuku.
Yeah. And
Okay.
now I've had a lot of people coming up to me and going, "Well, I'm judging this anniversary before I've seen it," and I'm like, "No, I'm going to sit down and watch it with the rest of you." But given the fact that it's only 75 minutes, that to me really tells me that they're not even going to really bother, even if the classic Doctors are in it, to really give them any time.
Exactly. I mean,
You see, I'm not downing the episode itself. I'm downing the fact that these men more than deserved to have an equal place in that episode, right alongside Tennant, right alongside Matt Smith, and even more so than John Hurt, despite the fact he's an incredible actor, and I love everything he's been in. But he's a newcomer.
and do you know what, Freedom? Do you know what, and Vil? Do you know what really rubs salt in the wound? Vil, do you know what really rubs salt in the wound? Is they're alluding that they're only having, you know, Tom Baker, who served 7 years. Let me stress, 7 years, and nearly ruined his career because he was so typecast in the role that he didn't want to come back to do the Five Doctors, and yet they're going to bring back Billy Piper.
I know. And it's like a lot of fans, including, and I'm talking about new Whovians, are really sick of Billy Piper, to be honest with you. I've been hearing that from a lot of new Whovians. It's like, come on, how many more times are we going to play the Rose Tyler card? You know?
I've got one. Rose Tyler shows up and the Valyard kills her.
I'm beginning to think she's the Rani.
It would be interesting if she were, but I'm thinking more along the line she's going to turn out to be a Zygon duplicate.
I have one good reason why she should not be the Rani. I like the Rani.
No, man, it'd be good. No, because to be honest with you, it should be good. Like Miss Piggy as cast as the Rani, you know, with those karate chops. Hey-ya! Sorry.
That would be better than her cast as the Ronnie.
Now you're picturing her. Now you got me picturing her versus John Pertwee. Hiya! Hi!
Hi.
Hi!
Is Danger Mouse in there somewhere?
Oh God. With Moffat, it doesn't surprise me.
And just throw Bruce Lee in for good measure while you're at it. Oh!
Yeah, he'll probably bring
and
him back.
Russell and Russell T Davies as Penfold.
Yeah, but he'll probably bring CGI Bruce Lee on there, but he won't bring back Tom Baker. No, it's far too old.
And the scary part is, if they wanted to really blow money on technology, Mr. What's Rossable already sent me like several videos that were on YouTube of how they could have easily had to come back and reprise their roles and still played an active part in it. And it was very simple camera trick involving green screening. All you need is a younger actor with the same physical stature. They wear a nice little green hood, if I remember correctly, and then you take CGI and you place the actor you want in this current age or whatnot head over that one in the scene. And trust me, they can do this now. It's scary. If you go back and watch like Terminator Salvation,
What's scary is that it's easy.
No, they pulled Arnold Schwarzenegger out of the 1984 movie The Terminator. And remember, this is way back before even high def existed. And put him into a high definition movie so convincingly, and with the use of a body double, that you could swear that John Connor's facing off against the Terminator from 84. It's not that difficult. And if you're going to blow money on something like that, that's what it should have been on, was finding a way to get these guys in the show.
But to be honest with you, I actually wouldn't have been satisfied with that. I actually would. I loved the who Moffat wrote himself. I think the Russell T Davies, the time crash thing, that the reason they're older because they're facing the modern doctors. That was perfect.
You see, that was the other piece of irony. It was Moffat who wrote Time Crash.
I know.
And he's the one who came up with that one-line throwaway sentence that explained why Peter Davison looks so much older. And yet, I can't do that again.
That's because he's got a one-line throwaway career.
Yeah, and he's such a genius writer. Yeah, he's a genius rubbish writer.
Hey.
Don't you know?
So was Hitler. At least you knew that he was a dictator.
Oh.
Well, I won't go that far.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I won't go that far. We haven't had the 50th yet. I mean, come back and do the podcast after the 50th. Then that would be interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on having one, the night of the 50th after it airs. So that way we can sit down and compare notes, see how we liked it and whatnot. That's pretty much a given. But like I said, if it doesn't have the classic Doctors in it in some capacity, sure, it can be a great story. Sure, it can answer all the questions going back to the beginning of Series 5, but it's an automatic fail because it does not honor the 50th year, as the title of it proclaims, that this is the 50th anniversary special.
It's the 8th year Holocaust.
Exactly. It's sounding more and more like this is going to turn out to be the 8th year anniversary of the new series than it is the 50th anniversary of the series as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because all the merchandising that's going on, you'd think it's 50 years and the classic Doctors are definitely going to be in the thing, in this special episode. But when you dig down and you realise what's going to happen, you think he's ripping us off here. And that's unfortunate. I mean, with the internet, is because at least, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, rather, you didn't have the internet, so it was basically on guesswork. I mean, the only inkling you would have who was going to be in it would be you'd have to actually physically go out and get Doctor Who magazine to find out what's going on. But at least John Nathan Turner had the foresight of bringing, you know, all the doctors in and getting a replacement for William Hartnell. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's still
You
listen.
know, and also, you know, and also, he quickly, when Tom Baker backed out, he quickly found a genius way of putting him in. It still worked. But
Exactly. There was no reason why, and I don't care what they say, that these, you know, there's no reason on this planet that they should not be involved. They should not have been in this. Their characters should have been written right into it, you know, immediately. You know, it's like, yeah, sure, I'm glad that you're thinking of moving this show forward, but do your great leap forward on your own time. This is the 50th anniversary year of the show. It should be a dedication to the 50 years and these men and what they contributed to bring this show to the 50th year, not your great leap forward into the future. If you want to do that, do it on your shows. This was supposed to be the British public's way of honoring these men, not your own little personal tie-up for all your loose ends.
Exactly. I mean, for instance, you brought up a perfect. Sorry, Vil, I just got to say this. You brought up a perfect. You summed it up, right? The 10-year anniversary of Doctor Who in 1972-73. What did Barry Letts, Terence Dix do? You know, Freedom. You know, what did he do?
When they found out William Hartnell, and they originally had it written, the three doctors, so that all three doctors were active in the episode. But then they find out that William Hartnell, due to his advanced arteriosclerosis, was not going to be able, but also let alone the fact that he was to the point that his memory had faded to the point he could barely hold on to lines. They turned around and rewrote the entire episode and reset up the entire production just to have him in there.
Yeah, because I mean, just to go back to what they did. Well, because what they were gonna do, because Barry Letts phoned William Hartnell up and said, "Would you like to do a Doctor Who? You know, it's the 10-year that we're thinking of doing a thing, and there's no script written yet, but would you like to appear in it?" William Hartnell was jumping up for joy. He goes, "Oh yeah, you know, I'll do it, and things, and blah blah. It'd be wonderful to do it." And then a few days later, Heather Hartnell, William Hartnell's wife at the time, the widow now, widow when she did, phoned Barry Letts up and said, "Bill's under the impression that he's doing a Doctor Who." He goes, "Yeah, we haven't discussed money or scripts or anything." He goes, "He's far too ill to do it. He can't do it. You'll have to figure a way to you know, cut him out of it or whatever, you know." And then you must have caught him on his good days, you know. And then Terence Dix said, "Well, it's going to be in colour," because it was in colour in 72, 73. All of William Hartnell's episodes was black and white, and they didn't have the technology of colorization at that time, or even if they did, it'd been too expensive to do it. So he said, "Can we have a little bit of him?" You know. So they took him down to Elstree Studios and filmed him there, you know, with dummy cards and curtains around him, dressed him up and the doctor, and even did the publicity shots, you know, in his garden, you know, outside and stuff like that, and filmed him, you know, smelling the roses in his garden. But they did that for him because he had to be in there, you know. None of this prejudging by Moffat.
And like I said, I just had dark thoughts, and I shouldn't even go here because I said I can't prove this. This is just speculation on my part, but I wouldn't put it past that stink ball if he wakes up every morning going, God, I wish they were dead by now so I wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
Not kidding. I'm laying money. That's what he thinks now when he gets up every morning. Is I wish they were all gone and dead so I wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
Why'd they have to live to the 50th anniversary? Because now I'm going to get all this heat. I'm not kidding. I have no respect for this man at this point. I put all my faith in this guy all year long. And then every time I do, he does something else to screw us.
But don't forget, Freedom. He's a classic Doctor Who fan. He says so in himself. He says he loves the classics. He loves the classics. Don't see any evidence of that there, do you?
Exactly. If he was a true classic Doctor Who fan, back when they had that big press conference and they had all them holding up their scripts, every single surviving Doctor should have been in that photo.
Yeah.
And they aren't. And that pretty much to me is one of the reasons why my faith on this guy is teetering on the edge of falling off into the abyss. Because I really don't see him doing anything for the classic Doctors.
Only teetering, you'll join me soon enough.
Oh, by the way, Freedom, I do agree with you off air what you said about Peter Davison and David Tennant. He could have power.
Yeah, because with Eccleston backing out, that left only one New Who Doctor left to sign up for this thing. And considering we didn't see McGann getting a phone call after Eccleston backed out, that pretty much means, okay, David Tennant, he's the most popular Doctor of the new series, and he's the only other Doctor we can get now that Eccleston's gone. I guarantee you, I'm laying money that there's no way that David Tennant signed any forms without saying, okay, what about my father-in-law?
Yeah.
Because he did have that kind of power at that point. When Eccleston dropped out, that made him a god as far as negotiation concerned.
Yeah, and I disagreed with him, folks, off air. But now it does look like it. It does look like,
Personally, I think Peter Davison screwed up. I don't know if it was a combination of drink and age or what, but there he is at the TV Choice Awards with a copy of the 50th anniversary script with his name embossed across the front of it, showing it to this guy, and then he tweets it. And then sure enough, by dawn that next day, that tweet's gone. And I'm like, if it was just a gift, if it was just, something that they gave him because he's a classic Doctor, why delete the tweet? What's the significance of it?
And it's all the publicity.
Exactly. Now we've got all these articles popping up. Now, like I said, we've got one from Female First that's saying he's definitely in it. But, like I said, who knows? It was filmed behind closed doors and whatnot. But still, at 75 minutes, there's no way these guys are even going to get any screen time whatsoever. Sure, they'll be there, but it'll probably be, all of 5 minutes between how many of them?
Yeah.
Because you've got a major story to tell. You've got to, get John Hurt's, quote-unquote, whatever Doctor he is in there and get that explained. Plus, it's looking like this is going to take place, some of it's going to take place in the Time War. And, there's no way they're going to fit all that and all the classic Doctors into any, significance in 75 minutes. It's just not going to happen.
You see, you brought up a good point there, Freedom. Okay. Now, if you say that Tom Baker's old, Pete Davidson's old,
you know how they could do it?
Sylvester McCoy's old.
Yeah.
They could easily.
Hang on. How old's John Hurt?
We're about to find out. I'm already looking up. John Hurt, born 1940.
Right. So he's 73 years old.
Exactly. Yet he's in the 50th.
Sounds weird to me. What's going on there?
But they didn't want any old men in costumes.
Yeah, I brought that up before. Yeah, they don't want any funny old men in costumes. What do you call John Hurt? He's not that far, from the geriatric age himself. And it's like I said, I had nothing against John Hurt. I've loved just about every single role the man's been in. But
great actor.
Fantastic actor, brilliant. But why?
And it'll be a pleasure to see him in Doctor Who. Sorry, Fred.
I'm going to love to see how he performs this role. But there's another part of me that's saying, why couldn't we have just done this with Paul McGann?
Well, Here's what I'm thinking. We could have had this character being what he is, and still had the classic Doctors. And in the Time War, who in the hell's not to say that there could be scenes of some Dalek assassin or Dalek programmed assassin being sent back in time to kill prior Doctors so that he can't be there in the Time War?
Exactly. That's a good idea. And also, I've just had another thought, Vil and Freedom. You know what? It would have been great to have Tom Baker in the role of John Hurt, where he's aged and there's another sort of dimension where the Tom Baker character refused to generate. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what explains the role, and the Tom Baker character, the Tom Baker Doctor, started the Time War, and it collided in this universe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have been great,
And it's not like we haven't seen Tom Baker aged on screen before. We did
exactly.
Leisure Hive.
Yeah, exactly. All the way back in the Leisure Hive, you had the Doctor running around, and he was aged like 500 years on top of what he was. So,
although we pronounce it the Leisure Hive. I mean, do you know do you know the story behind that? The Leisure Hive was, and this is power. I mean, originally, John Nathan Turner wanted Tom Baker to stay old in the Leisure Hive and regenerate in Logopolis, and then regenerate into Peter Davison. But Tom Baker says, no. I'm not staying in that old man garb for long,
Not to mention all the makeup time every day to get into that just to do your role.
Yeah, but it would have made more perfect sense. But there we go. That was the past, But it would have been great. It would have been great having the Tom Baker not refusing to regenerate, and also coming back in this universe and meeting his other selves, and fighting the Daleks or whatever. They could have done that. They could have done everything.
Well, you have to understand the whole premise of Doctor Who has changed. I mean, originally, Doctor Who was about this time-traveling alien that, for mysterious reasons, stole his machine and left his people with his granddaughter, and it expanded from there with who this guy was and why he was traveling, and even when you learn about the Time Lords, you really don't know who in the hell he is. Now, the show is about Stephen Moffat's dick.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that, kiddies.
Yeah. Rating.
Yeah. I don't know where to go after that, Freedom.
I know, he threw me off with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand that. But I suppose, do you think we would have had this problem if Mark Gatiss took over if Mark Gatiss took over instead?
I don't know. You see, a lot of people have been talking about Russell T Davies lately more than that. And I know this one thing. You had Russell T Davies, who brought this show back because he loved the show. Now you've got a man who's running the show because he loves himself, I think, is what I'm getting more than anything out of this.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what worries me. Russell T Davies did this as a labor of love. Moffat's doing this as a labor of money and recognition. And it's becoming more and more apparent. The more sure we've gotten more classic series references under Moffat than we did under Russell T Davies, but I can tell you this right now, and I feel this in my heart of hearts. And Russell T Davies' silence of late kind of chimes this out loud enough that you should hear it from here out to the other side of the solar system. If Russell T Davies was in charge of this show with the 50th anniversary right now, you would not have gotten one 75-minute thing in a Christmas special. And I can say that fully believing it, yes.
You really think so?
More. I think so. I know so. And if I'm not kidding, go check the media. You notice that you haven't really heard RTD speak anything out about the 50th anniversary at all lately, really?
You got a point there.
I think that it's because he's somewhere right now, somewhere in Wales, hidden under a desk going, oh my God, what the hell has he done? I give him a Dalek, he sticks it, he uses it for like 2 minutes on screen. Because it was one of his Daleks they used at the Soul of the Daleks. And now, just like, we were promised all these classic Daleks were going to be inside the Daleks. Where did you really see them? In the background or sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, now we're on the 50th anniversary year, and we were promised multiple things and all that. And oh, look, we got a bunch of documentaries, one 75-minute special and a Christmas special, and Matt regenerates. And as I brought up my last video, I'm shocked the Matt Smith fans aren't outraged. Because they gave Dave Tennant that whole half season and a two-parter, which added up to 135 minutes for his departure episode.
Yeah, but at least he's starring in this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But still,
I think Bill's got rats in his house, but
Exactly.
Sorry, someone messaged me and asked me what I was doing, and I told them I'm doing a podcast, and Jeremy then said, well, I've been wanting to do one of these, and I told him the same thing as before, then get the hell on Skype and message me.
Yeah, like I said, everyone's welcome. Just message me. Get a hold of me and get Skype, and boom, you're on. That is if you're over the age of 18. I've established that, and there's only one or two very rare instances where that rule is going to get broken. So.
Oh, and by the way, we don't bite.
Yeah, we don't bite.
New Who fans are always welcome. New series fans as well.
I'm not sure if Lady Gallifrey will bite you or not. But no.
You'd remember this guy. Jeremy was the one that was talking about Tom Baker that one time.
Say that again, Vil. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Jeremy is the one that was talking about Tom Baker and about John Pertwee that one time.
Okay.
Oh, I can't. Oh, right, okay. Oh, the one that they were guests in your house that time.
Yeah. No, well, yeah. I was actually at their house.
Okay. All right, now I remember. Yeah. All I can say is this, and let me be very, very clear. The 50th anniversary is filmed. It's in the can. And as far as I know, it's pretty much, I think they are finishing up the post-production on it, if it's not already done already, considering they got a Blu-ray coming out on December 2nd. It's going to air on November 23rd. And, the classic fans are up in arms because so far there's been no sign of any real classic Who, other than a few things that have popped up here and there, like, Totter's Yard and the Coal Hill school scenes. Oh, yeah, and they let Ingrid Oliver's character wear a Tom Baker scarf. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Where we've seen...
great hints.
But I'm just saying, I'm really hoping that they didn't think that those ending segments of The Name of the Doctor are going to be adequate, or even close to adequate enough to honor those men this year. Especially,
and that proves to me, sorry, Freedom, as well. You remember that? You remember that Ingrid? You mentioned that Ingrid using the Tom Baker as a hint, as a nod to Tom Baker using the scarf. That's already been done before in the movie. For God's sake, Moffat. It's already been done in the movie.
Exactly.
The original.
Exactly. So, if and when it airs and they don't give proper respect to the classic series, then Moffat has failed. And all I can tell you is, while you may not get them in this year, remember, as I said before, we are in a race with the graveyard. Literally in a race with the graveyard. This is going to be the last opportunity we have to get these men on camera and reprise their roles before we lose them forever. And if you sit there and do nothing, I don't want to hear a damn word about you later when you finally get the death notice for Tom Baker or the death notice for somebody, and God forbid it's anytime soon.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any of your crying. I don't want to hear any of your whimpering. I don't want to hear any of your bull crap. Because if you sat there and remained quiet and did nothing and let this thing go by without so much as a word of protest, as far as I'm concerned, you can just kiss my ass.
You should just buy a set of katanas now.
Exactly.
No,
because
no.
I mean, what Freedom's getting at, I mean, it's too late for this episode, but it'd be nice to have an episode like the Two Doctors,
Yes,
him appearing.
Yeah, that wasn't even an anniversary episode, and they still did it.
Exactly. And you know what? Don't let me remind you what happened to Nicholas Courtney. He died without appearing in Doctor Who. Sarah Jane Adventures was a sideshow. I'm sorry, And although I had to say it, he was scheduled to appear in Doctor Who, but Russell T Davies was too late.
And Sophie Aldred was supposed to appear in Sarah Jane Adventures, but unfortunately, once again, too late because Liz Sladen passed, and the whole show was then shut down. So that never happened either.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're in a race with the graveyard here. And I hate to sound so grim, but it's true. We don't have much time. We can't keep dilly-dallying around. The people have got to get up and move. And like Tom Baker said, and I can't remember. I can't remember if it was the Invisible Enemy, but people should be wary of humans, especially when they gather in large numbers.
Yeah, because don't forget, and I'm going to mention it again, my favourite episode, The Rings of Aholten. When any episode of the modern era mentions a classic, like Susan or something like that, blah, 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 they automatically think, oh, it's a great episode, The Rings of Aholten, because it mentioned Susan. Big deal. He's going to use that in the 50th anniversary.
That's just disgusting. And do you know what they should say? If they're going to use this Time War crap, what they should say flat out during the 50th anniversary is the cause of the Time War, what is the first shot fired? They should reference Remembrance of the Daleks.
Or Genesis.
Yeah.
To remember,
even Genesis, if you want to stretch it back that far, absolutely.
Yeah. Because remember, the Time Lord sent the Doctor as a preemptive strike with the option of genocide or influencing their development. And what if the Daleks just found out later after they developed time travel, hey, somebody screwed with us.
Yeah.
It kind of gives them a motive to go out and find the Time Lords at that point. But like I said, a mention of Susan, sure, fine. I like that. It's not any reason for me to go out and jump for joy naked in the middle of the street, which sure will cause a lot of people in my neighborhood to call in Bigfoot sightings. But but I'd rather have Carol Ann Ford on screen before she passes into eternity.
I mean,
you had her there at the proms. She still looks incredible for being as old as she is, and she's still very aware and still there. I'd like to see her on screen one last time reprising the role, and she wants to do it. You see, that's the one thing that a lot of people miss out on. All these people want to do it, but the BBC just doesn't call.
And of course, you've got William Russell, who's in his 90s. I would love to see him. you know, coming out of Coal Hill School as a governor.
Oh, well, they flat out said that they have no intention of doing it when they had Sarah Jane Smith mention that they never aged.
Yeah, but don't forget. Yeah, exactly. But come on, don't forget. I mean, all that plastic surgery that Billy Piper's got, and they're bringing her back. For God's sake, how are they going to disguise that? I mean, she looks more like Miss Piggy than, you know, Jim Henson could ever make. So, I don't know.
I know, it's just, oh gosh, it just, people are wondering why are you so serious about this? I said, because this is a crossroads. This is the once in a lifetime point. This is your last chance. And if you blow the last chance, you're going to regret it like hell later.
Oh, and he's already blown it, but, you know.
But I'm just saying, you know, like, here's my other favorite argument. And this is the one that makes me fall out of my chair and roll on the floor laughing each time like a weasel on meth. Is when people go, well, he's so busy running Sherlock and all that. Then fine, then hand it off to somebody else. Because I remember a certain fat little Welshman who was running Doctor Who, Torchwood, and the Sarah Jane Adventures, and still, up to the last year he was in charge of the show, we didn't have one split season.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yet we got, oh, I'm too stressed out by Sherlock, but I got plenty of time to get paid to go sit at Comic-Con and pimp out Doctor Who.
Yeah. And go and do Tintin for...
Exactly, and run and do Tintin for Hollywood. I got plenty of time to do that. So, I mean, the guy, from everything I've seen, doesn't give a shit about the fans. And I hate to use that word, but I have to.
And it's steaming. It's still steaming,
He is an enemy of the Whovians. He must be exterminated.
No. I'm not promoting any violence here, okay?
I'm saying that.
I know you're joking, but still, there's a lot of people out there, especially easy Zion, who will misinterpret it.
Disclaimer, for any of you out there who hear voices in your head, any of you who seriously think that that's a good idea, well, there's this thing called prison and electric chairs for a reason.
Yeah.
But we don't have the electric chair, we just have prison.
Well, it'll most likely be someone over here. We have more cases of nutballs because we have a larger population.
Oh, okay.
Comic-Con. Seriously, Comic-Con, you get some nutters.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's why Christopher Lambert won't sign swords anymore, but we digress. Oh, dear. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, seriously, Stephen, you missed a trick there. Because, basically, if you think, you know, you look at the heat Ben Affleck took when he got announced, you know, take the role of Batman. I mean, he's been getting death threats, for God's sake.
Now,
I mean, you know.
This is just, that's just a sample. You know, considering how many generations of Batman fans there are, and considering how many generations of old school and new school Whovians there are who want their classic characters and companions, or doctors and companions, back on the screen. I'm not kidding. I compared to what Ben Affleck's gone through, that's going to seem like a minor toothache.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, they even went to the White House to lobby. The White House. I mean, you know. I mean, to be honest with you, I really don't mind about the assistants on there, whether they're not, but you've got to have the doctors there. You've got to have doctors there. I mean, what? You're talking about 75 minutes, talking about 15 minutes a time for each doctor, roughly, at a guess, because we haven't seen the show yet. Hey, Freedom, 15 minutes for each doctor?
Exactly.
A spit and a cough?
Exactly. Like I said, this whole 50th anniversary has been what I called way back at the beginning of this year. A lot of my subscribers will remember. I called it the Great Doctor Who Swindle. And that's what it's been. Right up to this last little insult where, oh, sorry, it's only 75 minutes. But that's enough.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm just still in shock over this stuff. How also there's a lot of people out there who just seem to think well, I'm helpless. There's nothing that can be done. It's all done. It's all over. Wrong. Get out there, and if you don't like what you're seeing come November 23rd, if you feel that this thing falls short, and like I said, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to watch it.
Oh yeah, I want to feel positive when I flick it on, because I'm not going to go and see it in the pictures.
I'm in no way saying pucker up your lips, pout, don't watch it. I'm saying go out there, watch it, but if they don't give respect, well, respect is due. The first thing I want you to do is go hit that complaint box. And if that don't work, start getting together with all your friends and all that who are local Whovians, and you start protesting the BBC.
No.
Make it peaceful. Don't make anything violent. Don't say you're going to shave Moffat's cat. Don't do anything like that. Don't do anything crazy. Just simply
or lobby David Cameron at number 10 Downing Street.
Exactly.
Oh no, that might work actually. No, you never know.
Just simply get together, march up there, and say we want our heroes on screen, or we want your resignation.
That would be a good protest. Get a whole bunch of people in Dalek costumes to swarm out in front of Moffat's house.
Because believe it or not, kiddos, I remember John Nathan Turner, although he had good intentions, he overstayed his welcome. He overstayed his welcome. And look what happened to the show.
Oh, goodness.
Look what happened to the show.
He
could have... Sorry?
That's a great example, I said.
Yes. Because, look, he had his chance to leave when Peter Davison left. But no, he decided to stay on. And when he wanted to leave, he couldn't. You know why? Because he overstayed his welcome. The show started to get into bad to worse. And a lot of people are going to say in the comments, won't mention any names, saying, oh, no, he couldn't leave after Peter Davison. He had his chance to leave after Peter Davison, but no, he wanted to stay on to improve the show. And what did he do? He got rid of Terrence Dicks, he got rid of all the good writers, and decided to get amateurs in. And look what happened.
Yeah, it's almost reminding me, look at how many writers from the RTD era that wrote incredibly brilliant episodes have never even been called under Moffat's reign to come back.
Yeah, exactly. And an example as well. To make it perfectly clear for anybody who doesn't understand. Right? Everybody says that Moffat is a great writer. What I'm saying to you is Moffat should have left when Matt Smith announced he should have been leaving with Matt Smith now.
With you.
Exactly. He should be leaving with Matt Smith now. He did his work. Some of them were good,
He has kept the ratings up, and he has kept the audience approval up. I'll give him that.
Well, has he?
But you have to remember, look at this last season and look at some of the episodes. Look at them in detail. The guy needs to go. He's burning out, and he's going to take the show down with him.
Yeah.
Every few years, you need to bring some fresh blood in there, just like you're bringing in a fresh actor for the new Doctor. You've got to shake things up a little. You can't just keep on the same track. Otherwise, you're going to go right down the toilet.
Yeah.
It's a proven fact with Doctor Who.
Yeah. Sorry, I honestly, soon as Matt Smith announced he was leaving, so should have Moffat. He should have Moffat. If Stephen Moffat announced he left, right, and he did the 50th like he's doing now, I would at least have said, at least we could, look up. We have a bright future with a new producer, with a new Doctor. Can't say that now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as much as I'm looking forward to Peter Capaldi taking on the role and all that, now I'm still worried about, oh, great, what's this guy going to do to him?
Yeah.
You know, what is he going to stay on this same course, or I'm hoping he's going to try something new, given a more
Yeah.
mature actor in the role. But at the same time, I'm still thinking, you've had your, few years. It's time to go.
Yeah. Where nobody dies and your Christmas episodes, you're stealing from classic fairy tale stories and you're flying sharks and,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Come on, you've got a good actor here. And the new Doctor, I mean, taking nothing away from Matt Smith, he's a great actor. He carried it. He carried it. Despite his age, he carried it. But the ratings are dropping. And if you kill it like John Nathan Turner killed it, it deserves to be cancelled. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anything else, Phil?
Nope, that's about it. I mean, the only thing I can do at this point is repeat my utter rage and disgust toward Stephen Moffat, and I think that anybody who's paid attention gets that.
Okay, so I don't know. I think we're pretty close to the end of this one. I think we pretty much covered what we wanted to say, and a lot of people look at us and go, "Well, come on, it's just a TV show." I go, "Yes, but it's a TV show that's been a part of our lives for so long. It's been a part of my life for going on literally 30 years this year, and I know it's been Doctor Who man's for a lot longer than that." And
Yeah.
it's just, we've seen how the wheel turns on this show, and we don't want to see it happen again.
Now, for 39 years. So,
Well, guys, I think we've come to a close on this one.
Yep.
And thanks all of you out there for listening. Be sure to tune in next week again for the Omega Files. And this is Dr. Freedom saying, have a
Yeah.
great day.